Kat of Kattalestv, and again I'm downtown Los Angeles by the lovely Dorothy Chandler Pavilion. I wanted to do a quick video while I'm here. Check out this door, by the way, isn't this fantastic? I wanted to do a quick video about the Michael Bisping George St-Pierre UFC press conference held in Canada. These are my thoughts. First of all, I thought Michael Bisping, the way he dressed, was very appropriate for who he is. His haircut looked on point. Now this is just, if you don't know who I am or how I talk about the UFC, bear with me, alright? So, Michael Bisping's attire was appropriate for the man that he is. His haircut was sharp. About GSP. GSP looked amazing in his suit. I mean, he looked gorgeous. And it was a nice contrast between what Bisping was wearing. So in other words, it was like a yin and yang, bad guy, good cop versus bad cop type of thing. And Dana, as usual, dressed like a slob, but that's all right. But anyway, I noticed that I've never shot Michael Bisping, by the way, but I have shot previously George St-Pierre, and by his demeanor, I could tell he was getting very upset and annoyed, and Michael Bisping knew how to push his buttons. I've never seen, I mean, in person I'm saying, when I photographed or videoed or interviewed JSP, I've never seen that look in his face. So it was very interesting to look at, and how Michael just kept taunting him. Now, Michael knows how to get in people's heads. He's not stupid in regards to that. Like I said, I found it very interesting. He picked up on him. And I saw GSP do that multiple times during the fight. Now, one of the things about the whole GSP thing in regards to my history of being a fan of UFC, I met GSP in Beverly Hills while I was, shooting celebrities and stuff. I didn't know who he was. I just thought, wow, this guy's, built like a Mack truck. And then people told me, oh, that's this great fighter. So I only saw him in a certain light. I never saw him fight before. And one of the things, I have seen Michael Bisping fight, and one of the things I'm concerned about is that Michael is, like, the way he talks, he's very much a bully. He's very antagonistic, and he's not going to stop. And I can tell that during the fight, they're going to be it's going to be a brawler. It's going to be very, very interesting because you have men with two really different personalities, and Michael Bisping is kind of a bully, a taunter, a brawler. He's like a working class English, it's like steel worker, if that makes any sense. And the other thing about GSP is more, I don't know, I don't want to say cultured, but at least he speaks two different languages, and and I think he speaks Japanese as well. So it's just two different types of way of looking at the fight. You know what I'm saying? I think it's going to be one of the most exciting fights UFC's ever seen. And the old fans of UFC with GSP are going to come back, and new fans are going to discover GSP. So it should be one of the greatest fights we've seen in a long time. The other issue is that I realized I could never date a UFC fighter. If I loved a man and he was going to be in a cage with an animal who doesn't give two fucks, I don't know if I could sit there and watch that shit. I would jump in the cage and beat the shit out of the guy. I'm just saying. So that's interesting. I learned something new about myself. I like the way their bodies look, but nah, I couldn't hang. I think this is going to be a brutal fight. And it's interesting too, because without Conor McGregor, I find the UFC boring. And I find it very dangerous to have just one person that is so important to the UFC. When he's gone, the interest, tanks a lot. I don't care what anybody says, but I believe that. And also you have all these different people speaking multiple languages, so either you have to have interpreters. I'm not saying this in regards to GSP, but I'm saying for people like Aldo who never really even tried to speak English, you got to have an interpreter who has like kind of a fire when he speaks, so you get some of the energy, the contrast with the English speakers. You know what I'm saying? It's okay if you don't speak multiple languages, but at least try to talk a few words in the language or the country you're going to be in. You know what I'm saying? If I go to France, je parle français un petit peu. You understand? So I just think there's some laziness, but also I think there's some not thinking all the way through that the UFC could be doing. Get interpreters to have passion. They can, I don't want to say act, but can give you the passion that some of these fighters have if they don't want to speak English, and if they're they're not going to learn. So, or either way, even if it's an English speaking person in Japan, have an interpreter that's going to give you that energy. That's all I'm saying. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. I'm the kind of person, when I see things, I look for improvement and rising even to a next level. But again, getting back to the fight, you have two different types of fighters. GSP likes the ground game, he likes wrestling, and Freddie Roach is trading him with boxing and stuff. And Michael is trying to goad GSP into losing his temper, into falling for the traps that Michael has. And see, one of the things I noticed too in that press conference, Michael said something to GSP, and GSP was like, "Oh, I'm showing you what I want you to see," in regards to the promo video for the UFC, which meant, again, he was losing control of his temper. There's certain people that I've noticed in my life. There's people who are very, very dangerous in the sense that some people are quiet, but when they fight, they're deadly. Some people brag a lot and they talk a lot of shit, but they can't deliver. I like the kind of people that necessarily are silent, but when they punch you through your throat, if that makes any sense. You understand? I'm more of a Bruce Lee type of person when I think about fighters and what I like. I like attractive, smart, well-dressed, multilingual fighters. That's the kind of men that I like as well. So again, this is going to be an amazing fight. I'm looking forward to seeing it. So let me know what you think after watching this video. If you liked it, subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and watch my other videos. You can find a ton of videos regarding UFC. Just look at all the little playlists I have. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Oh yeah, and I have a Patreon account, so if you want to help a poor black child, let me know, all right? Thank you guys and girls. Oh yeah, and by the way, I think the UFC is missing out. There's some very sexy fighters and women that like men. We see you hot fighters on UFC, and I think you need to, engage us more. It's not just men that watch UFC. There's a lot of very attractive women that watch UFC. All right? Thanks. Bye.